ugly, it kind of goes towards the direction of harassment.
Critical.
No,
it's hypocritical.
It's not.
Before there was no feminism stuff.
There are feminists, right?
Yeah.
Who want equality but also want to benefit from gender roles.
Exactly. That's the double standard.
And I'm not.
Let's go to workplace.
Ooh, yay, work.
Workplace double standards and stuff.
Okay, I can answer this because I had a job.
yeah. It's okay for your colleague to say you're nice looking or you get a nice ass to actually make a comment, a compliment, if I may say. But if your boss says it, that's not okay. That's harassment because he's your boss. Why is that?
Okay, so this topic does get brought up a lot. I'm not gonna lie, it's a personal preference thing.
Personal.
Yeah, so like this same situation, it changes, the opinion of it changes according to people.
Yeah.
So, but I can kind of explain why it's okay for your colleague to do it, but it's creepy if your boss does it.
Mm-hmm.
So your colleague, and I'm assuming, does gender matter? If like, is gender mattering? Is your boss a male and your colleague a male?
Yeah.
Okay.
The boss is a male.
And the colleague also male.
Yeah, also male.
To like make it fair.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like if you're a female and your boss gives you a compliment and your boss is also a woman, you're not going to be creeped out as much.
You won't.
Okay. So
if that's the case.
If your colleague, now the issue with that is colleagues also get reported to human resources for giving compliments.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if your statement makes the person you're working with uncomfortable, they can report you and it can be taken seriously. And usually a lot of people argue that the difference is how you look. So if you're like attractive and you give someone a compliment, they'll be okay with it. If you're ugly and you give someone a compliment,
That's another thing.
They'll be uncomfortable with it.
Why?
Because
we're all people after all. So
yeah, but
why does it matter? Why does it matter?
Pretty privilege is a thing.
So you're telling me if a guy is nice looking, he's allowed to sexually harass you.
That's the thing. It's
but
not
if he's
sexual.
ugly,
it's not sexual harassment.
It's the same thing though. It's the same thing. Okay, he's allowed to give you compliments, but if he's ugly, you call it sexual harassment.
If you see him being ugly, now I'm not saying this. What I mean is, if he's ugly, I'm gonna get cancelled. If he's ugly, him giving someone a compliment can make that person uncomfortable. Okay, and if they're uncomfortable, then it kind of goes towards the direction of harassment. If a person is attractive and they give you a compliment, it makes you happy. Therefore, it goes to the side of exciting. So here's what you do to play it safe. Just play it safe and just don't ever compliment anyone. You never know.
That's hypocritical.
No,
that's hypocritical. It is.
You have a girlfriend, right? You've had a girlfriend.
Yeah, I've had a girlfriend.
So you're attracted to her, right?
Yeah.
And the things your girlfriend would do to you, those were okay, right?
Yeah, because she's my girlfriend.
And that's because you like her. But if a girl
she's my girlfriend, she's allowed.
If there's a girl you don't know does the exact same things to you, that's harassment.
Well, personally for me,
it's harassment. It's harassment.
I don't take it as harassment.
Yeah, but
I don't.
Why? Is it because she's attractive?
No.
Really?
No.
Why isn't it harassment?
No, to me a compliment is a compliment.
No, I'm not. She's not complimenting you.
What's she saying?
What I think that your girlfriend would do, I don't know. I've never like seen you date someone. Like in terms of in terms of like someone physically touching you and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You're okay with your girlfriend like just touching you and shit.
Yeah.
But if a girl comes up that you're not attracted to, look at me, not attracted to. And
I wouldn't take it as sexual harassment.
You wouldn't take it as harassment.
Instead, I'll just see it as she's trying to flirt with me, and then I'll tell her, "Yo, I'm not interested. Stop doing this." Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't take it as harassment.
Would you say that that's because you haven't had many experiences with sexual harassment? Have you had many experiences?
No.
Okay, so I think another problem is women experience a lot of sexual harassment in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Be it perverted looks, catcalling, creepy comments. So they're very vigilant to these things. And in some cases, I don't want to be the one that says it.
Yeah.
in some cases, it could be that you just have like a sensitivity to these things being said to you.
But in this sensitivity is kind of, I don't know, specific to a group of people like ugly men. Why are you sensitive when he's ugly, but not when he's handsome?
If he's handsome, you're attracted to him. And people you're attracted to can treat you a certain way because your attraction to them allows you to not be repulsed by that activity. But if you're not attracted to a person, you can be uncomfortable. So we're gonna ignore like how pretty privilege kind of influences whether what you're doing is harassment or not. Here's what I say: play it safe. Give very modest compliments. If you must compliment someone, give a modest one. Give an innocent one.
An innocent one, like,
yes.
Hey, you're okay.
I guess that works. And also try to do it from like a
churches.
Try to do it from like a safe distance as well. Yeah. Like if you're just like, hey, you're okay. That's creepy. That's really creepy.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
So when it comes to the colleague versus boss, since you said colleague, I'm assuming it's a coworker who has more or less the same position in the workplace as you. That person's position, right, is the same as yours, meaning that they don't have more power than you. And their opinion of you doesn't really affect your ability to work there. And so if they give you a compliment, you can accept it and go about your day. If they give you a compliment, you can tell them, thanks, and go about your day. You can either choose to be responsive or choose to be dismissive of their compliment. If your boss gives you a compliment because he's in charge and his feelings about you kind of influence whether or not you can work there, or it kind of also influences how much work you have to do on a daily basis. Because like I feel like if your boss hates you, he's gonna make you like work way harder than everyone else. I assume, I don't know, my boss liked me, so it's fine. So bosses giving you compliments, I don't think is a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing, but
some say it's unprofessional.
It really depends on the type of compliment too. Like if they say, nice work, good job on that presentation, that's perfect. That's highly encouraging.
That's okay.
If they talk, your makeup looks wonderful today, I feel like that's okay. But then if they're just like, I really like the color of your bra.
That's creepy.
We're going in an unprofessional direction. But compliments are okay. But if they come from your boss and they're about you physically, as in the compliment reflects physical desire, even from a coworker, if it reflects desire for you, then it does make people uncomfortable. And I'm not sure if you can like report your boss to HR. So like bosses can give compliments, but they have to be way more careful about what type of compliments they give. And his position in the company could, the way she responds to the compliment could influence his feelings, the boss. It could influence the boss's feelings about his employee. And now his employee is thinking about that. So her response to the compliment is being influenced by how she thinks he'll react to her reaction. So now she's uncomfortable and she's scared and she wants to react in a way that won't get her fired or put on overtime or something like that. And so bosses giving compliments can be a bit problematic. But then again, if your boss is like overly creepy, you can tell. And if your boss is overly creepy, he's probably going to do way more things than just give you compliments. Which is totally grounds for like an HR report. But like if he's the boss, I don't know how much power HR has in terms of correcting your boss's behavior. If you ever become a boss, stick to pretty soon. Stick to safe compliments like good job, nice work. Don't talk about their boobs. Don't talk about their mouth. You can kind of mention eyes, but that's also a little creepy. Don't be body specific. Yes, you can be overall specific. You're so pleasant. You're so nice to have around the office. But then even that's. But like if you do it with like constant eye contact and you're like, you're so nice to have around the office. That's creepy. There's levels to these things. But that is why it's okay for you, like your coworker to compliment you, whereas it can be scary if your boss compliments you. Your coworker doesn't have power to make your life and work hell, whereas your boss does. Whew, I talk a lot.
You do. Okay, so I have a question. Before you said you were a feminist, right? So
I assume I'm a feminist. A lot of people are telling me that I'm not.
You believe in equality, right?
I do.
We are equal.
I do.
We are the same. we
100%.
should enjoy the same.
I do acknowledge that men and women are different biologically, socially as well, because we do get put in like different roles and stuff. However, I do believe that we should all have equal liberation and freedom and stuff.
Okay, in terms of work.
In terms of work.
In terms of work, you also believe that we should earn same money for the same job.
Yes, if we're doing the same thing, I believe we should.
I hear a lot of women arguing that men are getting paid more.
That is a thing that happens. There is a wage gap.
That is a thing, right?
There is a wage gap, yes.
And that's a problem.
Yes.
Okay. Where I see the double standard here is for a girl who's dating, usually be like, I need an allowance. I need a man to provide. Basically, she's saying she wants a man who has money, a man who's powerful. So if you are looking for a man who's powerful, a man who's going to give you money, why are you also arguing to be treated the same way as the guy is treated? Why are you arguing to earn the same amount of money as the man is making, while at the same time you're also expecting him to give you a portion of his money?
Okay.
Why?
So
isn't that unfair? Like, let's say we are both earning maybe 50,000, and then you're expecting me to give you an allowance maybe of 5,000. I'm just making an example. You're expecting me to give you an allowance of 5,000, also take you out on dates with my own money, and also pay for your hair and stuff, all of those.
Good question.
At the end of the day, I'm left with.
I have a question. Where are people finding these people that'll do all that? People are dating out there, but to be fair, so
people are doing that.
I don't think that's fair. However,
I feel that's unfair.
However, we have to be mindful of not every woman in the world
it's
is a feminist.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And there are feminists, right?
Yeah.
Who want equality but also want to benefit from gender roles.
Exactly. That's the
Okay.
double standard right there.
And I'm not gonna lie.
If you want us to be equal,
in my opinion,
you shouldn't be looking for privileges.
In my opinion, that does bring the movement down.
Yeah.
It does make feminism in general look bad. And my opinion here is, as the person who has to provide all these things, you might not agree with me, but you can just say no and be like, I'm phone. You have your own money. What are you talking about?
Exactly, because at the end of the day, what are you doing with your money?
Using it on herself or saving it?
Saving it.
So in terms of like relationships, right?
Because
I feel like
I pay lobola, I buy the house.
I will pay like holding the money so she can have money.
Most things, a guy is the one who's financially, a guy is responsible.
You have to keep that in mind, that wasn't necessarily something that was made by women. That was a patriarchal decision.
I know. And then
y'all decided y'all must make all the money.
And when we get a divorce, you are taking half of my work, if not more.
You have to keep in mind.
More, you're taking half of my work, if not more.
Keep in mind that those women were
Those
women were completely dependent on you. They were financially dependent on you.
Before.
Now,
before there was no feminism stuff.
Opinion is that feminism exists as a response to the oppressive nature of patriarchy. Yeah. So if the patriarchy doesn't exist, feminism wouldn't need to exist.
Yeah.
And feminism doesn't benefit all women. There are women who still, I guess, need men to survive.
Yeah.
The message of feminism is not accepted by everyone, and there are still people who more or less will be dependent on their husbands, fathers, brothers in their lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is something we can't ignore. Some people actually just don't want to work for themselves, and they're perfectly okay with being dependent on their husbands and stuff. And I think that's okay, because working is exhausting. However, I want people to have the option to choose which one they want. But no, not everyone has that option. I'm privileged to have that option, thankfully. Woman. I feel like... Okay. There's a patriarchal belief that men should provide.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, that's the belief of the patriarchy.
Yeah.
Because that's how I think that's how men base their importance in society. Outside of providing and protecting, what is your role, your worth in a family, in society? Outside of those two things.
It's usually providing.
That's it. So that's all you'll have.
I guess.
To be more or less valuable to society.
We could say a gent is considered valuable to society if he has money.
If he has money.
Yeah, if he has wealth. Yeah. Cars and shit.
So
especially back in the old days, if you had more cows, your status was.
Your worth is entirely based on your money.
Yeah.
That is such a sad existence.
It is, right?
Like, I'm so sorry, but you know what's weird?
Yeah.
Given that society, in that same society, what's a woman's worth determined by? Because I don't really know. I've ignored it so much. I don't know anymore. What's a woman's worth determined by?
Right now,
in society.
Right now, I'm not sure. But then before, it was like just being able to produce. Yeah.
Produce, like have children, and then like cook and clean and shit like that.
Cook and clean, take care.
So, exactly. From the way I see it, women saw their role in society, and some women saw that role and said that's unfulfilling. Some women saw that role and said, I don't want to do that, and they actively rejected it. Yeah. Which is why we like feminism so much, because it's how we reject those roles. And I feel like men, no offense, don't like that women were able to reject their role in society, whereas y'all still have to accept your roles.
Yeah.
I suggest y'all reject your roles as well. Like, reject it. Do it.
You know, like, I believe, okay, I'm all about women's rights and stuff.
Thank you.
I feel like if you're going to take the notion that we are equal, we are supposed to receive the same benefits, privileges and stuff, that should also goes into terms of relationship and stuff. Don't expect me to give you money if you're saying we are equal, we're supposed to earn the same money. If you want us to earn the same money, don't expect me to
have the same job.
Money.
Good question. Do you have the same? Okay, fair enough. I do agree. Yeah. Like, if you want equality, then you should not expect privileges.
Exactly.
Because like, I like how feminism gives women the chance to support themselves, and it's a shame that we lose our privileges with it, but I'm okay with losing those privileges. However, not everyone is.
Which privileges are you losing?
So as a feminist, right? Yeah. There's this notion, a lot of men have told me that feminism has killed chivalry, as in they refuse to be chivalrous towards me because I'm a feminist. As in they refuse to help me carry heavy things and open doors for me, which I'm okay with. Like, it's fine.
Okay.
I can do that myself. Would I like help with that? Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But if you're not going to help me, it's okay. I don't expect that type of behavior from men. If I ever get like a flat tire and stuff, I don't expect any random man to help me, and if they do, I'm scared of them. Like, the only person I can ever expect to help me in that situation would be my father. We have lost everything we want is paid for privilege. Yeah. But like, then there's also
that's what you want to do.
We have lost the privilege, and it's kind of sad because things are expensive. I'm not gonna lie, things are expensive. But to be fair, in terms of like the price of equality, I feel like it's an okay price to pay for liberation. Like, I would rather have to go 50-50 on dates for the rest of my life than never have the opportunity to be able to work for myself. The idea of dependency terrifies me, because then when you're dependent on someone, any decision they make about their life affects you. Also, just imagine.
And if something happens, so then
women do want to keep their privileges, but also reject their expectations, like what's expected of them as women. And in my opinion, that's kind of unfair. If you're not going to do what's expected of you, then you can't really expect the privileges that are given to you if you do those expectations. So, I guess you pick your struggle. I have picked the struggle.
Make me understand something, man. This is about lingerie and bikinis.
Ooh, okay.
So, most girls find it okay to post pictures in bikinis, right? But they wear bikinis at the beach, pools and stuff, right? They find that okay, exposing their body, it's okay, they post their pictures. But if it's lingerie, they think that's not okay, it's not cool. But it's the same body they expose. Why is that?
Okay, so
like, I'd ask a girl, let's say I'm asking a girl, hey, could you send me a picture in a lingerie, no, that's creepy. No, she feels like she's exposing herself too much like that. But the next thing I go to Instagram, I find her pictures in bikinis and stuff. That's the same body though.
What? Lingerie isn't the same thing as underwear, right?
Yeah, it isn't.
Lingerie is basically sexy underwear.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Lingerie is basically.
But in our eyes, it's kind of the same. Because we're just trying to see skin.
Lingerie basically exists to accentuate features of her body, to further sexualize her sexual parts.
Yeah.
Like I do remember there were like a few girls like wear those things called bralettes. Like, have you ever seen like lacy things? They like wear them with jeans and shit. Now,
isn't that lingerie though?
In my defense, it's
every time when I say it, I'm like, is it lingerie? What's happening? I'm not sure.
It's called a bralette, and given like the length of it, because like they usually come like to the navel, it kind of makes it not exactly lingerie. And since it's covering everything, it makes it's kind of acceptable for her to walk out in public in it. But like it totally depends on the society that she's in. If she's in an Arab country, she could get stoned to death. If Ugemakaya, all the elders will probably judge her. We are in town. They aren't exactly rules. As long as your private parts are covered, you're fine, in my opinion. So, in terms of lingerie, these are clothes you wear specifically for sexual intended purposes, whether it be to look more sexually attractive or to, what's that word? Leave. Like, I think the whole, like, I don't know, is being naked and wearing lingerie, do they get same effects?
No.
Or is it more heightened when the person's in lingerie? Or less heightened? I don't know.
I think when they're in lingerie.
Okay, because the purpose of those is to make a person look more sexy, right? Yeah. So, lingerie
it's more stimulating, so lingerie
exists to make a person sexy. Yeah. When a person is in lingerie, they are existing as a sexy person. When it comes to bikinis, right? Yeah. Those exist for beaches and pools and stuff.
Beaches.
I said it fine. I pronounced that word just fine. So, in terms of swimwear, I don't understand why swimwear is the least amount of fabric possible. Like I know how like guys wear like those swimming underwear, not the shorts that come to their thighs, the one that's just like the ones that look like undies. I know those exist, and I know a few swimmers wear that, and I think it has to do with like you being aerodynamic and stuff. Bikinis are basically like, they look like bras and underwear, right? Yeah. Now the difference would be I think the clear difference would first be the material. It's made to get wet. It's made with the intended purpose of you going into chlorine water, salty water, because you can swim in those. Now, bikinis do also make you look sexually appealing. Yeah. But in terms of the bikini, it works with your body. If you have a sexually appealing body, according to someone, then a bikini is going to look sexually appealing to you. There are people who wear bikinis, and when they wear them, they're called disgusting and shit. Yeah. Because, if a woman is wearing lingerie, she's aware that if this is a socially acceptable house thing, it's not something she can just like show to you. Because if she's sending you pictures of her in lingerie, then it looks like she's actively trying to sexually arouse you. Whereas when she's wearing a bikini, she can be argued as just existing at the swimming area that has salt water or at the pool. So she's just existing there.
Don't you have like any should I say any just double standards maybe for men you have for me? Questions?
Any double standards that men
just to wrap it up
experience?
Yeah.
Y'all get to look ugly. No offense.
No,
your worth isn't determined by your physical appearance. Like
to an extent it is.
I mean, I guess it's becoming a thing now because like your drip kind of plays a role in your work. Exactly. But like, you can do. I feel like you can do. Okay, what the now they're also coming for your fades. Like actually, you're like getting beauty standards now. You're like actually getting. You'll have to deal with beauty standards now. Like shame. It's getting rough.
That's because if we are ugly, there are certain things that we cannot do, like giving you compliments, like we said before. So we try, even though we can say that we are not really as attractive. We try.
There is something guys specifically get away with that women don't.
What is it? What is it?
I guess it would be sexual promiscuity.
Yay.
Being a whore.
Yeah, that's the one thing we get away with.
Y'all get away with that. So, you know, that's a double standard. But then again,
But then when it comes to it, I honestly feel like it's different. I feel like it's different. Like,
like you'll deserve
yeah,
to have that double standard.
Yeah. I mean, if I have plenty of hands, I mean, it's easy. But for you, I feel like that's unfair, straight up. And I feel like
That's a double standard.
even if it is, we shouldn't normalize you dating plenty men just because
I'm not saying we should
if
normalize
or not,
it.
it's a double standard.
I'm saying that if we can call whores for dating many men, then we can call guys whores for dating many women.
I mean, even in the Bible,
I'm totally doing. I'm not Christian.
Even in the Bible.
I'm not Christian. Do not use your religion to justify that. That is not what the Bible is for. That is not what the Bible is for.
But then even in a religion, I'm sure you're not allowed to like be involved with plenty men.
True.
Are you?
True. However, when y'all are getting in these multiple relationships, not even relationships, because I'm pretty sure y'all don't place certain titles on people that like respect and honor them. Y'all, it's my opinion. However, I don't know, because I've never seen you date someone ever with my own 2 eyes. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. But people should be able, in my opinion, to date as many people as they want, if they can keep up. Well, like if they can give the amount of attention that their partners want, if they can do that, then it's fine. But then if you have a situation where you're disregarding one partner's feelings for another partner's feelings, then you shouldn't be having 2 partners, because that one person is sad because you ignored them to talk to someone else. That's bad. So if you can, I feel like everyone, if you want to date someone, if you want to date more people and the people you're dating are okay with you dating more people, you should be allowed to date more people, and no one should be called a whore for that. But since that's not gonna work out the way I want, I will be calling anyone who is a whore. Exactly. It's okay to be a whore. If it's okay for guys to be whores, it's okay for girls to be whores. If it's okay to call girls whores,
I think that's just no.
If it's okay,
it's not okay.
We're disagreeing, and that's fine.
We've made it to you made it to the end of my video. If you've made it this far, I just wanna say thank you. Nah, let's run this shit back. If you've made it this far,
I just want to say thanks.
I'd give you a shout out to your Instagram. But,
I do not exist.
She doesn't exist. I said before, she's a nobody, so no.
When you say it like that, it hurts my feelings. Like, yo.
It's not true, though. Okay, I'm joking. But then, make sure you comment, likes,
Am I allowed to like make fun of you? Yeah.
Dueces.